Sorry. Hey, what's up guys, this is Johnny Chu here, and I'd like to make a quick video of what's been going around the internet all day today. For those who didn't hear, Sony basically ended their partnership with Disney for Spider-Man on the MCU. And some people are blaming Sony for doing this because they're like, they want Spider-Man in the MCU, they want to keep him there. And they want to bash Sony and all this stuff, but the truth is, Sony is not really to blame for all of this. And I'm about to show you why. Check this out. So, I already have it loaded up. I got this on BuzzFeed.news, okay, and this has been confirmed from comicbook.com as well. So, these are reliable sources, and the title for this literally says Spider-Man is leaving the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Disney and Sony Pictures will no longer share Tom Holland web slinger. Now, a lot of people are wanting to say, "Oh, Sony, what have you done? Why are you doing this to us? We all know that you love Spider-Man so much and you don't want to give him up, but please, let's keep Spider-Man." And Spider-Man is the hottest thing right now for the MCU. But this is where the problem comes in. Now, let's break down a brief history of what's going on here. Spider-Man has been owned by Sony for over a decade. This literally says it right here, which I'm about to highlight. There we go. It says, Sony Pictures has owned the movie rights to Spider-Man for decades and found great success with the character with director Sam Raimi. Please forgive me if I'm saying that name wrong. And actor Tobey Maguire's take on the web slinger in the early 2000s, their three films grossed nearly $2.5 billion worldwide. So that means the Tobey Maguire version was very successful. Now, when it came to Mark Webb and Andrew Garfield version, a lot of people didn't like it too much. Personally, I did like it. Only because it actually stuck true to the comics, exactly how the Spider-Man comics was. I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man was my childhood superhero growing up. So, in 2015, as I'm about to do this right here, give me a second. And mind you guys, this is not scripted. This is me literally talking to you guys. In 2015, Sony entered into a unprecedented agreement with Disney-owned Marvel Studio to share the Spider-Man characters. So pretty much Sony said, hey, people been wanting this. They want Spider-Man in the MCU. We are willing to work with you to bring Spider-Man to the Marvel comic universe. And Disney said, yes, we're going to do that, to the point that he premiered in Captain America Civil War, to Infinity War and Endgame, and all this stuff. Now, Spider-Man only had two standalone movies in the MCU, which is Spider-Man Homecoming and the last MCU movie that came out, Spider-Man Far From Home, which, gotta be honest, I haven't seen it yet, so no spoilers in the comment section, please. I know enough time has passed, but I really don't want to know. So, why is this all happening to begin with? Why is Sony backing out of this agreement? Why are they saying we don't want to work with Disney anymore? Well, it's because of this. And this is very important. And I'm about to highlight it again. So Disney, according to Deadline report, and this has been reported, stipulated to Sony that it wanted to split future Spider-Man movies in a 50-50 arrangement, co-financing agreement, which also meant a 50-50 split in the profit. And Sony's response is, no. And this is where a lot of people feel like Sony messed up, they're being greedy, all the stuff. But actually, it's Disney who is being greedy. Because let me give you a fine example. This is a this is a product owned by Sony. Spider-Man is Sony, okay? And I'm pretty sure they were fair with the agreement when it came to profit. Like, hey, we'll allow this to happen, but we want the majority of the profit, which is fair because they own the rights. So they probably work up a deal like saying, Disney, you get 35% and we collect the other 65 or 40-60. But regardless, Sony should be making the most out of it because it is their product. Okay, Spider-Man is it's their product. Let me give a good example. For those of you who know, I haven't released a video of this yet. I'm part of I started a new gaming community known as Silver Moon Gaming. Okay? Now, we're getting ready for Retro Game Con, and we are planning on selling our own stuff. At least my partner for Silver Moon Gaming is going to be selling stuff there at our table at Retro Game Con. Now, what if, and this is just a hypothetical scenario, what if our good friends at Sapphire Cat Creation came to us and said, hey, John, I would like you to sell some things that I have that I've made, but I want you to sell it, and in exchange, I'll pay you for doing the service for me. What would be the payment arrangement? What we sell. So a fair would be, just a hypothetical, we get 20% and Sapphire Cat Creation get 80%. They get the majority because they're the one that made the product. They own that product that they want us to sell. And we gotta realize that the most that Sony is getting the most of their money for Spider-Man is in their standalone film alone. So that means 2 movies out of 23 movies is where Sony is really making their money for letting Disney use their product. Okay? They probably made a little bit with Civil War and in the Avengers movie. Probably a little bit more with Avengers 4 because Spider-Man was in there more than he was in Endgame. I mean, not Avengers 4, Avengers 3, Infinity War. So, the point that I'm trying to bring out here is that a lot of people want to blame Sony for the reason why Spider-Man no longer is in the MCU. But in reality, it's not Sony's fault. They are protecting their product, okay? They shouldn't have to give half of their profit to Disney. Disney is making more than enough money as it is from the other characters, the other movies that they have for the MCU and upcoming film. And of course, all their Disney reboots that they're doing. So, honestly, in this case, this is just Disney being money hungry, okay? And this should not be taken lightly at all. We shouldn't be going after Sony. We should be going after Disney. We should be telling Disney, make a better deal with Sony so that means we can get Spider-Man back in the MCU. That's what needs to be done. So, on that note, you guys have a good night. It is almost 11:30 at night here. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to go to bed. But I really wanted to release this video because this is a very important topic that I think needs to be addressed. So, until next time, guys, I hope Disney, if you're watching this, you probably won't. You probably don't give a damn. Make a better deal with Sony. Don't be money hungry.